Alright, so I started printing the cover. I didn't even think about it. I didn't enable supports or anything like that, so we'll see how this prints. Um, but I just loaded the file, sliced it, put it in here, and switched out my filament to this green. It's not exactly the same color green that I was using on the rest of it, but it's pretty close. Um, I still have some of the old stuff. Um, See, this is why I like this printer. It just usually just works, just like super easy. So here's the face of the thing, face down. So now we'll be able to like see the fan and all that cool stuff. So I'm hoping that maybe this file will be a little bit better for just the size of it. Maybe it looks like it's pretty minimalistic. So it might be a little bit smaller. I can see a little bit better. But the issue with this one here is really right here. So I'm not sure that there's much we can do about that. It could come up all the way to the bottom of that fan. So it could be chopped off at the bottom of that fan. That's fine. But this will stick out. Because normally when you see most of these printers, it's this part that's close. But maybe there's also a difference just in how the deal is mounted on the hot end. Because like I'm looking at these different printers, I'm like, well, why does the nozzle stick out further on that one? So with this one here, while that thing's printing, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with figuring out which possible direct drive bracket's going to work. I love how fast this printer prints. Now, it doesn't print as fast as the SV07, but it sure as hell doesn't screw up as much either. And the acceleration isn't like 8,000, which is, always have to change that on the S7. What the hell? Hold on. I don't want that in there. Okay, so we're going to close up the lid on this. That way it can print good. Alright, now we're going to go and I'm going to remove the fans out of here. And I'm going to mount the rest of the stuff back together, but with the fans out of the way, I can get this shroud out of the way. And then I can start making some more progress. So we got this piece out of here. And I probably could modify this one if I wanted to. But I think it would look pretty ugly. What is this? This is a 4010, 24 volt. So we got this one. What's this one? There's a little, they get like a little duct on here. It's just kind of floating here. This actually wasn't physically attached. It just kind of like locks into place. This fan holds it in place. So what I need to do now is I'm going to get in here with this. I really should probably disconnect these. but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. Okay, so I'm going to get this over here, and then I'm going to try some different brackets. So I think I found one that'll definitely work, and it's adjustable, so should work. Maybe I'll reprint it in green. If I can determine what file it was I originally printed. So what I found is like these different ones, they all fit pretty closely. They're just off a little bit. So um, this one fits, it's adjustable, and the lip actually fits. The other thing too is right here, you have that hole there. We need that to clear, and it pretty much clears here. I just need to nick off a little bit of that. So with this one here, it really doesn't clear. But this one here might be the best choice because it can be adjusted and easier to change. So this is the old PTFE, and it gets pretty boogered. I think maybe from the Bowden setup, it's jerking up and down on this, but eventually this part gets bad here. So I put this supposed Capricorn tubing in here, and we'll get that mounted in there. But I don't want to use this PTFE, especially it's supposed to give off toxic fumes at over 255 degrees or something like that. So with this one, this is as close as you can get. On the Crealities, you can get like a little bit closer. Anyway, so we got it mocked up, and now we're going to undo it because we have to mount the motor on first because the tensioner can't be mounted once this bracket's on. So I guess I could probably just go ahead and film that. So right now, we get our bolts out of there. Go ahead and pull our bracket. I don't know what the hell I just dropped that I shouldn't have dropped. One of my spacers. So what I ended up doing with this one, this was for one of the, I think the Pro over here. I just hogged these out a little bit. And it was easier to do that than it was to use the adjustable bracket. Plus I like the black on red color a little bit better than this other stuff. So what we got to do now is we need to take our motor here. I don't know if I can just connect this or not. Okay. So you want the motor to either be this way or that way. And it just depends on where you want the wire to be. I think in most cases I try and put it this way. If there's any issue in here, we'll have to get in here and make sure everything fits. Sometimes you need to take a razor blade or something. Just go through. See if it'll fit now. Yep, pretty good. Nice and flush. So, I don't know if I want the wire up at the top or not. This is kind of one of these things where you're going to regret it if you don't have it where you want it. Um, and I'm wondering if maybe probably here is a little safer because it comes up to the top of the gantry. Um, but it might not matter because all the other stuff's going to be coming out of the top too. So we'll try it right here for now. And we basically got to get this thing on here. And the issue here is right here. To adjust that, you really can't adjust that. So it's really kind of difficult to do this. And unfortunately, they don't make something that's convenient to have the tensioner on the top like a Titan. So what we need to do now is adjust this all the way in. There's no way to ever be able to adjust this because of where it is. So you just gotta live with it. Hopefully I don't need to drill any of these screws, but I probably do. So, yep. So every time I printed one of these, I've always had to drill the screws. Okay, so this is what we got so far. And I just checked on our print, and the print's almost done. So we got this going here. And so we should be pretty close to, like, as soon as we get done with this, to having the other part ready. There's going to be some prepping involved, I'm sure. But so yeah, so this is good to go. I need to double check a few things. It was really quite difficult. A lot of the screws just didn't want to line up and stuff, and I was having trouble with it. So over here. Okay. I actually really like the way that looks with the red on there. So we shouldn't have any issues with the rest of this stuff, but we might end up having to take it all back off more than once. It just depends. These are going to be larger. Turns out I cut the Capricorn tube probably a little shorter than I really needed to. But that's okay. Okay, so see that there? So we got that. We get our wheels on here. And you can put the nut on them before you stick them on the carriage. Well, technically this is the carriage. Because there'll be enough slop in them. To reach up in there and do this. So, should be anyway. Maybe not. I thought it worked last time I tried this trick, but I guess I was maybe wrong. That's okay. I've worked on a lot of difficult vehicles, so this is no big deal for me. There were a lot of cars that were just such a pain in the butt to work on. I've learned to multitask and hold things in awkward positions, trying to thread things in and all sorts of crap. We got that started in there. So that's what that's going to look like. Looking good. I think the red actually goes good with the green. So, we should probably snug these up just a hair, and then I think the way I did it was I had this pretty much loose when I undid the belt. So the belt, well, the belt could be difficult maybe. Let's get this out of here, we don't need that. Can't see it. Tell it's right there. You might want to do this first. I don't know, I'm having trouble seeing. Look at that. I was able to whistle it out of there. Alright, let's get the belt in here first. Yeah. There's the belt. We'll make sure we don't have it twisted. It's really nice that this printer already has the tensioner. Okay. I don't know how did it do that? There we go. Almost. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So it is possible to do that. It's not easy. Man, I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten all day. Just realized it. We just made another mistake. I forgot to put my tube on there. What I'm going to do, since this is just going to be a lot easier, I'm going to remove the hot end. And I'm going to slide the hot end up on it. Simple mistake. Could happen to anybody. I don't know if I'm actually like blocking the view. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm probably blocking the view of this, but anyway. And looking back on this, I think this is probably the easiest way to do this. Anyways. I really don't like how that BL touch sensor has the wire going over here, but nothing I can do about that. What we need to do, put it on there so I'm not fighting this touch sensor that's in my way. There we go. And so now, also, we know we can replace this with any kind of Creality too. So this is pretty cool. And if this didn't have the filament sensor on it, or not the filament sensor, that filament dryer, I would probably scrap a lot of this, and I would probably move all this. I'd probably relocate the computer. I'd probably redo the whole front of this thing, because this is all extra. And the computer's in here, and then there's just a drawer. I'd probably scrap all that, and I would go with the Creality board, since I already have one. And I would get it in there and do that. But since it works, and you know, I bought it new, and it's touchscreen, it's got a filament dryer that will not work without that. I'll just leave it like it is. Maybe later on down the road, I'll do something differently. I got a little distracted. My son just got done doing a bunch of homework and stuff and was letting me know he got it done. Anyway, and there's the other one. What? And the other one. Okay, so anyway, I like the way this looks a lot better, and I just want it to be a little bit more simplified. So I might have to design my own cover, my own fan stuff, but at least for now, closer to a similar design that everybody else is using. And we'll just have to deal with the filament sensor. And I think it's got its own dedicated wire. Okay, well, we'll pull it out of here. It's doable. So I'd almost rather not even use it. I have plenty of printers that don't have it. Okay, so we got this here, and get these tightened up. There's a lot of flex. That's not good. So I might need to design some other type of thing. What it is in the process of doing all this crap, you had to change the shape of this. And you know, when you have something like this, it should be fine, I guess, but there seems to be the ability to move a little bit more than I like. And the reason is because the only thing that's in here is these little sleeve pins. And if the sleeve pins have too much space on the top or the bottom of them, then that can move like that. So I'll have to design something a little better, maybe, if this causes a problem in print. It's fairly heavy. I don't think it's going to have enough to do that, but it could. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to double check, make sure everything's all tight. But yeah, so and actually that seems pretty good. I think it's flexing more just because of the plastic. So maybe it'd be nice to design one for other people so that you wouldn't have to figure out what print I was using and, like, you know, how to manipulate it. Let's go over to the printer. Okay, so I love this thing. Okay. Took 1 hour and 36 minutes to print this. Looks great. So I thought I didn't enable supports, but apparently I did, so it looks great. Turned out great. Pretty good. Alright, so it does look like it is a hair shorter than the other one, which might give us a little bit more visibility of the first layer, so that's cool. Some striping here, but like overall, pretty good. So I'm gonna go spend some time with my kids and I'll finish this up later. We'll catch you guys later.